Happy spring, everyone, and welcome back to the Encouraging Words for School Counselors podcast. I'm Matt Fleck with Inspire Success. Have you ever been to Alaska? Maybe on a cruise or perhaps visiting friends or family? Maybe you're like Elizabeth Congdon-McGee, our guest this week, who lives and works in the 49th state. If you're a school counselor in Alaska, it's likely you know Elizabeth because she is the state's 2021 School Counselor of the Year. You wouldn't think it, but Elizabeth says the city of Anchorage, where she works, is quite diverse. In fact, if you look at a diversity pie chart for Anchorage schools, like I did, it looks like an actual pie with evenly sized slices. There's almost exactly the same equal percentage of students who are Native American, Asian, Hispanic, Black, White, Hawaiian, and mixed race.
And you think Anchorage, Alaska, but we have the top 3 in the nation of diversity. We have the top 3 high schools, middle school, and elementary schools as the most diverse schools in the nation. We get a variety of refugees coming through Alaska and a variety of, situations that they just land themselves in Anchorage. And so we have to really get to know the different cultures and really be able to provide their services.
Elizabeth grew up in a family that she says gave her a lot of privileges. But along the way, she discovered she had a natural affinity and skill for working with marginalized, at-risk kids. One of these former students continued to text and message Elizabeth to seek out her help, even years after she had graduated.
We went through back and forth of messaging on Facebook because I will not give them my direct line. I don't do my personal information with them, but she found me on Facebook and messaged me, and she was part of human trafficking. She was part of that lifestyle, unfortunately got wrapped up in that. Her mother had passed away, and she was wanting to go join her mom, a lot of suicidal ideations, and would text me, "Goodbye, Miss McGee, have a good life, see you later." And of course, I'd have to do APS and do all those things, even though she wasn't my student anymore. And just constantly trying to keep her going. And she just messaged me the other day, and she's been clean and sober for 2 years, doing great things, trying to get her siblings under her care versus her father, who is a alcoholic. These are young people that people don't think are going to make it anywhere. And I have the privilege of saying I had an impact in their life and made a difference. I can't ask for better than that as a school counselor.
One of the attributes that makes Elizabeth Alaska's School Counselor of the Year is her self-described ability to have tough conversations and to advocate for the work of school counselors.
People ask me why I stay here, and that's because I actually can do professional school counseling. Mm-hmm. I do very little scheduling. I don't do test coordinating. I do not do 504 coordinating. I do sit in the IEP meetings, but that's because they want to hear what I have to say to move forward. I have gotten down the IEPs. I am in there, but only for 10 minutes of direct services. So that allows me to do a check-in, check-out, and I can provide data on all the other school counseling services that I can provide for these students. So it hasn't always been this way. I've had to show data and work very hard to get to where I'm at. But when I hear that they're changing schedules and they spend 80% of their time scheduling, where I spend 80% of my time in direct services with students.
Advocating for school counselors is time-consuming and takes work, says Elizabeth, so she advises don't do it alone. Partnering with your colleagues is your best bet.
Build those connections with your other school counselors, because that's also an advocacy piece. One voice, one vision, because truly, if we do not advocate for our professions because we do not know how to toot our own horn and we do such wonderful work, that our profession is going to slowly disintegrate because they're going to find other people to do our jobs. But so then they put us into scheduling and test coordinating. Well, if you can show the data that you really can change an academic gap in the 3rd grade classroom or in the 9th grade group, show that data. Start with one classroom and really collaborate with your staff, because that's really what's going to make the difference for you as a professional school counselor.
So very true. Thanks, Elizabeth. Her advice is well-timed because if you want to better advocate for your role as a school counselor, to use data as part of a truly comprehensive and effective school counseling program, we can help. Our new Inspire Success Ramp Ready online platform is now enrolling schools and school counselors for the 2022-23 school year. Those of you who want to implement the Ask a National model and apply for RAMP using a step-by-step, easy-to-follow system. You can find all the details at inspiresuccess.org/rampready. That's all one word, RAMPREADY. And if by chance you want to implement a solid counseling program framework, but you don't want to mess around with RAMP, check out Basecamp, which allows you to implement an easy, effective school counseling framework that mirrors the Ask a National model, but is a counseling program structure that you can use year after year. And surprise, Basecamp is totally free. So be sure to take a look at inspiresuccess.org/rampready. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.